Okay, I want to film a video on the topic of how searching for meaning helps us handle leadership. The reason I think this is important is that in a post-religion culture, the word meaning is very much something that is self-derived, and it becomes something reduced to our own experiences and can in fact be commoditized. And what I mean by that is it becomes very self-serving. For example, the greatest meaning in life might be the pursuit of happiness. But then, as leaders, what do we do when life is less than happy? And how do we handle the struggles of leadership when things are going less than ideally for us and for our team? So there's a really powerful book that touches on this, and it's Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. Now, a really interesting note on this book is that in the original German version, when it was published shortly after World War II, the title is I Still Choose Life, which is a great title in context of how it was written, where Viktor Frankl had just survived internment in a concentration camp throughout the duration of the war. And for him, what he is explaining is how he found meaning throughout great suffering. What Frankl is pointing out is that even in the context of a concentration camp where your freedoms are deprived, but not only that, all external forms of happiness, so warmth, clothing, comfort, shelter, are totally deprived from you. And yet, within that context, the human can find moments of joy. For example, observing a sunset or hearing a bird call. At the same time, he points out that people in great comfort, great privilege, great power, great authority, with all the external trappings of happiness, could feel deep despair and even seek to take their own lives. And in doing so, he's pushing us to consider deeply, where do we take our sense of identity and meaning far beyond the realm of happiness? And what Frankl is touching on is the conundrum that if we live in a perfect world, we're never really free. But if we live in a free world, we are then exposed to suffering. Suffering is not the problem, but in fact our orientation to our own freedom is where humans can take deep meaning. Once this is true, the human truly becomes a calm rock in the storm of the circumstances that surround them. Ultimately, as leaders, we are called to find deeper and deeper places to draw meaning from beyond superficial happiness. Suffering gives us the opportunity to analyze deeper things, such as our connection to our values, our connection to human relationships, our connection to a deeper sense of purpose in the moment, our orientation to our freedom to find purpose in the moment, even in discomfort. Now, Viktor Frankl was a devout Jew, and there is a book of wisdom in Jewish scripture about a man called Job who experienced profound suffering. Now, Job is advised different ways that he can relieve his suffering, including religious moral dogma. On the other hand, he's also advised to just curse God and die. However, Job doesn't choose either of these extremes. He chooses to have a direct and quite confrontational conversation with God, the ultimate ground of meaning for Job. And in seeking a direct conference with God, Job is vindicated as someone who hasn't sought to find temporary relief in moral behavior or in nihilism. When we have a deep quest for meaning, purpose, and a relationship to value, this is where we can find true freedoms, even in the sufferings that we face.